Hey guys, it's your boy Kenny Boulder with another Pokemon video, and we're representing Pikachu today, so we love Pikachu. But most importantly, the story that we're covering today is a Pokemon Scalper that's been notorious in the Atlanta target area. So again, the fans, you guys, the viewers, you keep telling me your stories, and I have to do my part into bringing up. So obviously, I want to give a shout out to my boy over here. We'll give him a shout out in a second, his full title and full name. But we have a viewer who gave their story talking about a scalper in this area and literally just buying out everything. So, of course, I did some of my research. I made sure I asked the right questions, and we have the full story here now. So the story is that this gentleman here has been basically going out to all the targets in the Atlanta area, and he's buying all the Pokemon cards. So here he is, with a cart full of Prismatic Evolutions, SPCs, EV pouches, and apparently he bought all of them, even though there were limits. So we're going to go read the story right here, talk about this right here again. So this is an email that was sent by the viewer to Target, and we're just going to talk about this whole situation. So today, on July 1st, 2025, at approximately 8 a.m., I entered Target Sandy Springs store located at 557 Roswell Road, Atlanta, Georgia. I work in the same shopping center, so I always check to see if they've restocked any trading products. Leading up to this date, we were all told that there is a 2 limit per item per day. Several of us who shop here had spoken with team members at the store who were confirmed you were only allowed to buy 2 items per day. The restock would be handled similarly to past week or past before by Excell Marketing or CrossMart. The 2 vendors who usually handle this is Brian at Excell or Dot from CrossMart. So this guy knows the vendors by name, essentially. I personally have met them and spoke to them and usually see them restock once a week. Based on this information, when I saw the shelf was restocked, I quickly walk over to the card section. Being number 2 in the card section, I should have been able to get 2 items of each. I saw the item I really wanted, which is the hot demand item Pokemon Trading Card Game Prismatic Evolution Super Premium Collection Box SKU 66210081. Andy, who is friends with Brian, was first in line, which is already suspicious. This is the scalper's name, apparently. His name is Andy. Andy takes all 6 Prismatic Evolution Super Premium Collection boxes and puts them in his shopping cart. If you're only allowed to buy 2 per item per day, then he's not supposed to be able to take all those items. I asked if I can get 1, and he said no. At store opening, I checked out my items and I could get what that wasn't Prismatic Evolution's SPC. I asked the cashier how is he able to get all the items. They said they will tell him at the counter when he checks out that he can only buy 2. As I was disappointed, and he's walking around the store with all the Prismatic Evolutions products in his cart, waiting for his friends to arrive at Target, then passing out the Prismatic Evolutions products to them. This was discouraging given the fact that Andy's friends with the restocker Brian. This restock seemed to be well organized and smooth, where the vendor stocks in perfect timing his friends to show up at the same time. When we inquired about the situation with the store manager, she said she would and had a led there or to make sure that only 2 guests were able to grab 2 items. I would not be writing this if I would not have had my fair chance of coming into the store and getting the item I was first in line to get. So turns out Brian and Andy were in cahoots. I don't know what the hell is going on, but the rest of this email says he bear hugged, assaulted me, and screamed that I was a thief. Even another employee ran to see what was going on. I'm a loyal customer at Target and I don't deserve this. And yeah, Jesus, this is a crazy fucking incident. Obviously, I'm not going to read the whole details. Some of it, I'm not going to read some of the names because I don't want to, be out there. This is just an opinion piece here, full disclaimer. But this is what I got. He sent this email to Target, and they didn't really do much about it. And of course, this story is about, Pokemon scalpers, Pokemon guys who just buy out everything and everything like that. So we have the screenshot here of the guy buying out all the Prismatic Evolutions. And apparently, the viewer, the person who decided to want to bring this up, they were really upset. And in fact, they followed him because they were upset that he basically just took the cart from the restock and just kept going around circles of the Target after apparently just buying out everything. And I get it. This is frustrating. This is very difficult to process. And this guy's on his phone probably talking to all of his buddies, getting them to come by and grab stuff because there are limits. And of course, he sent a little video as well of this moment. So he's walking around again. And it's pretty clear. He has all the stuff in his hands. And he bought everything out. So, unfortunately, Andy's a scalper. And we're not talking about Toy Story Andy. We're talking about Scalper Andy right here with his hat on his phone. And I feel like that's always like the same thing that happens with Pokemon card scalpers. They're always on their phone telling their scalper friends or scalper mafia buddies, like, hey, I got a big score right now. And we actually see this a lot happening, where they basically have to walk around. Because when you go to the cashier or you go to the self-checkout, it will limit you. The machines will literally limit you. The employees will literally say, hey, buddy, you can only buy 2 per item. You have to take the rest back. They will literally go around the store like this, and they will hide, or they would try to evade the employees or other people. For this case, though, the viewer, our friend here from Atlanta, TCG, was very upset. He followed him. He took some pictures here, and he was not still able to not get any, even after engaging and talking to Andy here. So another picture he sent me was, again, same guy. This is another restock here, and apparently he is hanging out in front of customers, and he may or may not have come in line in this picture here. So this guy goes to a lot of Target restocks, and it's just kind of a weird situation where we keep seeing this happening, where people just keep going to restocks, and they basically their only reason there's to resell. Their only goal is to flip and resell Pokemon cards, and this is just a piece of many stories out there. And I have to expose this. I have to talk about this, because this is not how Pokemon cards should be. Like, why are guys just able to have to like camp out and loiter at Targets, Walmarts, Best Buys, GameStops to get restocks? It's just like wild to me that the card hobby, that you know, Pokemon cards have become like this investment, asset management, accumulation scheme. And I get it, you know, people want Pokemon cards. People are a big fan of Pokemon cards. I love Pokemon cards. I'm a big fan of Pokemon cards. But we keep seeing the same story over and over, where people just keep showing up, and their only intentions is to buy as much as they can or rig through the system. So they sent me a second email. Obviously, I asked some questions. You know, I asked some questions to the viewer to, oh, hey, hello there. Thank you for the sub. Obviously, I am filming right now, so sometimes I get people who just kind of sub in. So you're watching this right now. This is your mid-episode break. Make sure you subscribe to the video. Thank you very much. Hello there. So General Kenobi. I asked some questions to our friend here. So again, he told me who he was. Unlike a lot of, again, and if you want to share your story, you can be anonymous here. But he shared his Instagrams and socials. He has a handle that says Trading Cards Atlanta, Young Benjamin Atlanta. So there he is. If you want to talk to him or ping him or follow him, if you're in the Atlanta area, feel free. Shout outs to Trading Cards Atlanta for taking these screenshots, taking the time to write the stuff and sending back to me. And of course, I asked him questions. I asked him, how long has he been doing this? And he says that he's been doing this since 2020. From speaking to other people, the restocking, his name is Andy and is friends with the Excell vendor, Brian. And then I asked him, like, why do you think this is happening? Why do you think this is happening, this hobby in this particular target, this area? And he says that they work with a small group that they have the same info. What made me suspicious is when I saw people waiting in front of the card section randomly on Tuesday around 10:30. My friend told me if you see people just randomly waiting there, then it's suspicious. He told me to keep waiting. I waited another 15 minutes, then I saw Andy. 2 minutes after I saw Andy, I saw Brian. I made a complaint with Excell and Target. Those two went to my job at Lifetime and filed a complaint on me in retaliation. So there's some crazy shit happening in this Target. People are just attacking each other and basically trying to get rid of each other's jobs. So this situation is kind of also pretty bonkers. And in a way, it is kind of like high school of a drama. It's like, hey, you expose me at my job reselling Pokemon cards, so I'm going to retaliate and then, give you a bad review at your job. So, like, and this is where I'm kind of worried sometimes, because obviously people have time on their hands. They're just waiting in line for Pokemon cards. They're going to retaliate. They're going to find your information on the internet. They're going to see who you are. So, again, obviously, TCG Atlanta, thank you so much for, being brave and courageous enough to being open about yourself, and I appreciate you exposing these guys. So, yeah, there you go. They tried to make me look bad like the bad guy, but my supervisor didn't believe them. Management said they're going to place a lead at the restock to limit people They also said on release day product will be behind counter. I see other people in the community when I randomly check. I see Andy when Brian comes in and uses to be Brian's helper. So then we have, this one I asked, like, what exactly is happening? Like, how does this keep happening? And what have you done to address this? And of course, Trading Cards Atlanta said before Andy would come in plain clothes and start organize the messy card section. After 30 minutes of organizing, Brian would then shell out the restock card and restock so mins. The only thing is that Andy feels packs and weighs them, which is unethical. So apparently, again, I don't have screenshots, so I have to take his word. He apparently weighs fucking packs at Target. So like, he literally is like peak scalper behavior. If you're like every single restock, buying out way more stuff, and you're weighing in packs, I am sorry. You are a scalper. You are trying to flip Pokemon cards. You're trying to sell Pokemon cards to make money. I filed a complaint before about the helper Excell, so Andy's not Brian's helper anymore. Now this is where the beef starts, because I think now they know I've complained to corporate. So again, this situation's pretty bonkers to me that all this is happening. These guys are in like a Pokemon mafia, I guess. I mean, again, I don't have pictures of the vendor, but I do have pictures of the scalper himself. So, I mean, the evidence is there, man. He's bought out everything. So people might say like, oh, well, Kenny Bowler, you're just getting into drama. No, I'm doing my research. I have asked questions. I asked for proof, and I asked for footage. And here we have footage of him literally talking to people, saying, hey, I got all the Prismatic evolutions come, because right now I'm in the back of the toy section, and they won't let me, buy out the items. So this is a weird situation. And I think this is maybe a failure in Target as well. Target has to like have the stuff at the customer service desk. This guy was able to buy from the vendor and then go around the store with all the stuff in his cart. And of course, he's calling his buddies. He's calling his buddies here to tell them to come in and try to basically rig the system. Because it makes sense. Hey, guys, heads up. I'm at Target right now. I got cards. Come and get some. Let's split the load, and we'll share the reward, so to speak. And that's not fair. And I think that's kind of you're cheating to get Pokemon. And I'm not a fan of cheaters, and that's why we have to talk about these guys and expose these guys. So I just want to say again, man, like, thank you so much for watching and giving me this content here. Obviously, Trading Cards Atlanta. If you want to check out their Instagram, feel free. And again, I trust people who come out and they say, here's what's happening, here's my story. Please, talk about these guys and expose them. And I will, because at the end of the day, like, this situation is just cooked. It's unfair. Why is the vendor able to do inside trading to one guy? How is one guy able to buy out all the Pokemon cards? It just doesn't make any sense. And so I really appreciate you guys telling me this stuff and trusting me to bring these stories out to the public. Because I really value that. That means a lot. I'm just I just like Pokemon cards. That's my whole thing. I'm a big fan of Pokemon. And I've been I've been card hunting, finding Pokemon cards for as long as I can remember. And I think the hobby is really cooked right now. It's just in a bad spot. Because so many people who, in my opinion, don't really care a lot about Pokemon cards, they're in it to make money. And so we keep seeing these stories where scalpers show up, buy out everything, and they literally rig the system. They have basically a connection or inside information, and the vendor shows up, puts stuff, gives a minute, like 5 minutes heads up, they show up, and everyone just buys out everything within 2 minutes. And that is just not fair. For the average person, most people work 9 to 5. Most people aren't showing up on a Tuesday, Monday, Thursday, Friday at 10 a.m. sharp to buy Pokemon cards. I'm sorry. They're not. And so for me, it is a struggle where I just have to point out, like, we need more Pokemon cards. We need more stock so that people don't have an incentive to keep flipping and reselling Pokemon cards. Because I'm sure Mr. Andy here, he doesn't give a shit about Pokemon. He probably can't even name any Pokemon off the top of his head. And I know you guys think like I'm like making a lot of assumptions here. But, like, no one does this. No one acts like this. and behaves like this. And so, again, I only got screenshots. I got like a quick, 3-second bite of video. But I do believe that this is like a valid and true story. The details are there. And I've seen a lot of people tell me this stuff. And, they're like, hey, can you cover this? And often I ask, like, I need some more footage. I need some evidence. And I can't have a hunch. So, in this case, I think this is real. I think this is a valid case of, a vendor giving information working alongside a scalper. So it sucks because I'm sure the people in Atlanta, Georgia are upset and they're wondering, why is this Target not full at all? Why is this dude just shows up and buys everything? Well, this is why. A scalper is in cahoots with a vendor and they just buy everything. And if they don't buy everything, they just walk around behind Target until someone shows up and takes the rest of the stock. So, yeah, guys, I think it's important to recognize that, again, this is a viewer story. I really appreciate you guys sharing me your stories. If you want to, like, talk about this, if you have a story and you want, and you have, evidence, of course, because I need evidence. I need screenshots, I need videos to cover a story. So if you want me to cover it, please DM me, retweet, email me, thekennyboulder@gmail.com. I'll be happy to. And of course, I'm gonna ask some questions, and I'll ask you if you want to be public about this. For this case, Trading Card Atlanta said, yeah, please, here's my socials, please. Here's my emails I've sent to corporate. I'm not a bad guy. I'm trying to just get Pokemon cards. And I'll vet you, of course. I'll double check your socials and make sure you're legit as well. And of course, I'm gonna ask some questions like, why is this happening? What's going on? How long has this been happening for? And of course, hopefully you respond, but you don't have to. And of course, if you want to be, anonymous, absolutely. I think that's fair as well. But again, disclaimer, you still have to give me evidence. If it's just a story, if it's just text, I can't cover it. I want to, but it's just usually like a lot of folks are going to ask me like, well, where's the evidence? Where's the proof? And I need proof. So that's just part of my model. I'm sorry. I need evidence that people are scalping, videos, content, etc. So, and I want to say I have a backlog. It is kind of crazy. People keep sharing me stories, so I really appreciate that. I have over like 5-6 stories backlog that I just have to take time, sit down, and just make the content. So thank you so much for watching, guys. We're so close at 7,000. Again, I really appreciate your support, guys. It means a lot. Your reviews, your comments, your likes, it means a lot. And of course, if you're hate watching, and you know who you are, please continue to keep commenting. Keep commenting on my hair. I love comments about my hair. So guys, have a great day. Obviously, again, like, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you next time, y'all. And be safe out there, please. Be safe. Take care, guys.